it easy.
Right.
And do you remember? Ow!
So are you going to South Carolina?
No.
No, didn't work out?
I'm going to be going visiting and stuff. It just wasn't the right. I wasn't really planning to go for a couple more years. Then an apartment came, brand new for cheap, $500 a month. I was going to try to go, but to be able to afford it, I was going to have to retire, get my extra income, and I'm not ready to retire and get my extra income yet.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone, from the middle school gym at Wilmington High School.
Ready to do this.
We've got volleyball action tonight on CampusNation.com,
We do.
the sports animal. I've got Bill Raybeck, the Razor here. Yours truly. Between the two of us, we might make half a volleyball crew, right?
We might.
That's right. But anyway,
and that's a stretch of the imagination there.
that's right. So we certainly invite everyone tonight to enjoy the match. We had Wilmington, the JV, defeating the Georgetown JV in 2 straight sets earlier, and now we are getting ready for the varsity match here on Campus Nation. Bill, did you get to see anything from the first match? Were you able to catch anything from the first match?
I got here just as it ended, and so I did not. But we have the Georgetown G-Men.
Right, it's the Lady G-Men.
And they are in the, of course, SBAAC National, I think.
Same division as Wilmington, aren't they?
No, they're in.
Aren't they a big school?
No, they're in East Clinton's division. They're a small school, so I believe they're in the National, and I think Wilmington is in the American. So, it promises to be a good match here. We have the Lady Hurricanes are 0-1, and then Georgetown is 1-2.
Yeah, they had a tri-meet the other night. I was talking to the head coach, and he said that they played in a tri-meet, and then they had a sink. They played twice. Once a tri-meet, and I guess they were, I don't know whether they were 1-1 or 2-0 in the tri-meet, and then played another match. So I didn't get the breakdown, but I know they're 1-2.
Okay, and taking a look at the lineups for tonight, starting with
there you go. We're live.
Starting with Georgetown, we have Julia Finkel. I believe that's right. We're going to need to check on that. And Rick, I'm going to, ma'am, could I get you for a second? I'm going to get the pronunciation.
So Bill's off to get the correct pronunciations. We try as much as possible to make sure that we get all those names correct so we don't get any irate parents. Normally the parents are understanding. We do a lot of events. Last night we had a boys and girls soccer match, and you need a pen or pencil, Bill? Hang on a second here, folks. All right, I'm back. And, of course, tonight's volleyball match is for Wilmington, the second match that they have done. We covered Xenia in 2 nights ago. Xenia defeated Wilmington both at the junior varsity and varsity level. And then, of course, this will be the second match for Wilmington. And apparently this will be the fourth match for the Lady G-Men. And, of course, last night we had soccer, boys soccer and girls soccer, and Wilmington boys defeated Clinton Massey boys, I think 6-3, and then the Clinton Massey girls defeated the Wilmington girls 7-0. So that was last night's soccer action on Campus Nation, and you can find those games, those matches and things on our website. Although I don't know what it is. Sometimes when I do these recordings, I end up with girls and boys combined together on one of them, and then the boys were separate on another.
Holy
so
mackerel.
you may find that you'll start with the boys on both, but you got to look at it. If it's a 3-hour event when you get on the website, then wait the girl or click on to the girls later in the broadcast. For some reason, now I've got to go back and edit it. Dean's playing with the volleyball over there.
Dean's playing. He wants to play with the volleyball. He's not sure if he should do anything with it.
Yeah.
Of course,
He almost got hit the other time.
Well, he probably would have enjoyed that. So, so should we go over these starting lineups?
Yeah, go ahead and go over the starters.
For Georgetown, we have Julia Finkel, Isabella Holland, Bailey Nichols, Michelle Pan, Emily Thomas, and Jordan Watson. They will be the starting 6 for the Lady G-Men. And for your Lady Hurricane volleyball team, we have number 2, Emily Butcher, a sophomore, 5'8". We have number 5, Emily Self, a sophomore, 5'4". Number 6, Bri Thompson, a senior, 5'2". Number 8, Catherine Harden, a junior, 5'7". Number 10, Sammy McCord, a junior, 5'8". And number 16, Alea Huff, a senior, and she is 5'4". The Lady Hurricanes are coached by Jenna Persinger. JV coach is Megan Sellers and assistant Maggie Reagan. Head coach for the Lady G-Men is Seth Karicki, and the assistant coach is Hannah Bowman.
Yeah, and I wanted to correct something from 2 nights ago when we were doing the broadcast a couple nights ago. We had said that Jenna Persinger, of course, she was and still teaches at Miami Trace. Well,
Right.
The first thing I said was that she taught science. She teaches math.
She is a math teacher.
So we've been corrected on that. And then also, she used to be the AD, assistant AD.
Yeah, she was the assistant AD.
She's
there.
no longer.
Okay.
So since she has the coaching over here, I think that
There's a conflict of interest.
I don't know. Obviously, it would
I
be.
would think that would be. I mean, I think most schools would have an issue with somebody that's maybe coaching at 2 different schools, and they could be opponents on.
Well, now that especially if it was the same sport.
Yeah, yeah.
Could you imagine that, a coach standing in the middle here, coaching
Yeah.
both the teams?
Yeah.
And for Miami Trace, Jenna Persinger is.
Yeah, I just think there could be some issues there. So, but we will see what happens. And of course, Rick, we'll be diving into the football schedule here pretty hot and heavy.
Yeah, we've got volleyball again here tomorrow night.
Right.
Same time, same station. And then Friday night, we start our high school basketball season with 2 great games.
No, high school football season.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Basketball. And I'll tell you what, I don't know whether it was the broadcast before that I started off trying to say basketball with volleyball. So anyway, we'll get it straight. We'll get it straight eventually.
This will be a fun night. That's all I can say.
That's right. So you're right. We will start football on Friday.
Right.
And we're going to do a simulcast. There's going to be 2 games on Campus Nation on separate channels. You can watch back and forth. You can, pick your poison, so to speak. We'll be at East Clinton, where Clinton Massey goes in to play East Clinton. And we will also be here at Wilmington, where Valley View will come in to play Wilmington. Both those games start at 6:30. We're on the air at 6:30. And I think we've got Joe Davis, and Joe Davis is reffing here tonight.
Yes, he is.
Joe Davis will be on with Charlie Hargrave.
Joltin' Joe.
That's
and
right.
Cruising with Chaz.
That's right. We're going to meet Wilmington's new principal at halftime.
Very
I think
nice.
we'll have. He's. I think he actually. I don't know whether he now still lives in Greenfield, but he's from Greenfield, and so I figured Charlie will have to know him. So Principal Unger, and we'll enjoy hearing at halftime of our Wilmington Valley View football game more about our new principal here at Wilmington High School, and then. I don't know if we'll have anyone on at halftime there at East Clinton, but
I'm sure they can.
Yeah,
well, you have two alumni there with Wes Kidder.
Well, half our staff is connected in some way, shape, or form to East Clinton.
Yeah.
So I mean, I probably should be donating to their alumni association or something, because we got Charlie, we got and you have obviously all kinds of connections besides teaching there right now.
Right.
And Joe Davis, of course, and Wes and Chris Wisecup.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just about everybody.
Yeah, well, we will say this, that East Clinton has been a wealth of talent for WZAA and Campus Nation.
And I don't know that I'd actually call it talent, but at least it supplies us with people.
A wealth of bodies.
With some bodies.
some warm bodies that can occupy some mics.
That's right.
So we will see what this brings us here with this first attempt at volleyball here for Rick and I.
This is actually my second attempt. Okay.
So Rick is no longer a first-timer here.
That's right. Well, we had Joe Davis here on with me the night before last. So, Joe knows the rules. So it's very easy to have him.
Sounds like a segment we could do.
I know. He gets pretty deep in the weeds sometimes, but and Joe likes to talk. Imagine that.
He does?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess this is the perfect place for him.
Perfect place for him. Too bad we couldn't mic Joe up. Well, we might not.
I don't know.
We might not want to do that.
Not when he's out there refereeing.
Yeah, they could be interesting.
But he gave us a lot of details about the matches and the rules and even warm-ups as far as that. So if any of you are interested, since Bill and I can't remember back that far, and Bill knows nothing about that, you can go back to the first game after this is over, and if you want to go over the rules and things.
Yeah. Well, they played at 25. We know that.
Yeah, we know that. And they'll play the best 3 out of 5. Yeah, and we've got Heather Morgan on camera number 2.
And we got Dean the Dream.
No, Dean is on camera number 2. Heather's on camera number 3. And we've got a stationary camera at net right here at the scorers table. And that will be, in fact, that's the shot that people are looking at right now. That will be, you can see Joe Davis right there. That'll be the shot that you get occasionally as we try to give you the best angles as far as this.
Rick, I got a question for you.
Uh-oh.
So, in high school volleyball, if a team wins the first 3 games, is it over? Is it 3-0?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they don't play the full 5 no matter what.
No, okay. It's whoever wins the best of 5
So
games.
whoever wins 3 first.
That's right.
Okay.
That's
right. My understanding is in the 5th game, they only played a 15 instead of 25. Is that correct?
Well, we'll find out maybe.
We might find out.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if somebody out there knows.
All right. We've got the national anthem here.
Let us know.
Introducing the lads for both teams. First for Georgetown, coached by Seth Garkey. Number 14, Layla Elliott. 22, Liz Miranda. Number 3, Tammy Rum. Number 25, Libby Scott. Number 2, Kaylee Miles. 15, Rylan Dyer. 23, Riley Bridges. Starters for Georgetown, 18, Julia Finkel. Number 1, Isabel Holland. At libero, number 9, Bree Lambert. Number 13, Bailey Nichols. Number 21, Michelle Pan. Number 24, Emily Thomas. And number 8, Jordan Watson. And now for your Wilmington Hurricane, coached by Jenna Persinger and assisted by Maggie Reagan and Megan Sellers. Number 3, Logan Osborne. Number 4, Alex South. 7, Jalen Johns. Number 9, Lexi Evans. 14, Samantha Ockerman. 15, Maddie Flynn. Number 18, Mara Drake. 19, Mariah Knowles. And number 20, T. Harris. Starters, number 2, Emily Butcher. Number 5, Emily Self. Number 6, Bree Thompson. Number 8, Catherine Harden. Number 10, Sammy McCord. 16, Aaliyah Huff. And in libero, number 12, Harley Pickett. Good luck to both teams.
So, Rick, we're getting ready for the opening serves here.
Yeah, everybody's, we've got a high level of enthusiasm and excitement tonight.
Yeah, we sure do. And, of course, we've got Rick over here on the switcher and the board, so he's pulling double duty.
Trying to bring you the best shots that we possibly can with our 3-camera setup here.
Yes, indeedy. And so, starting out with service here, we will have, we'll find out this in a second.
And typically with the 2 shots that we have, you'll be able to catch the scoreboards to keep up with the score, although we'll remind you in the event that you might not see them. We do have a score bug that we could use, but with all the back and forth scoring,
yeah,
it's really, unless I had someone that
would
just
be a
ran. That's right.
job
That's right.
there.
So
yeah.
we'll keep you up to date on the score, and we will also, of course, you'll see that on those shots as it because we've got scoreboards on both sides opposite the cameras.
Sure. Okay. Now, Rick, I've got another.
It's campusnation.com. That's the live video broadcast right now.
Okay. Opening up serving for the Hurricane is Harley Bickett as she gets ready to serve, and there's her service. And she's able to drop that one in for a point.
That's an ace, isn't it?
Well, it was.
Did anyone touch it?
Yeah, she hit it. She got her hand underneath it. So Bickett, with her first point of the night, gets ready for the second serve, and it's into the net, and that will rotate over.
Results in a point.
Or side out, yes, and that will be a point for Georgetown. And so it is 1-1. And ball hit over by number 2, Emily Butcher for the Hurricane. And after a return by Georgetown, number 10, Sammy McCord blocks it right down, and it's now 2-1, Lady Hurricane. And number 5, Emily Self serving for the Hurricane. A nice serve by Emily. Number 21 for Georgetown, Michelle Pan just couldn't handle that one. It was a little bit too hot for her.
3-1 is the score. The Hurricane with the lead, yeah.
Yep. So Emily Self with her second serve. Ooh, and another point. And a nice serve by Emily.
Anybody touch that?
No.
So that was an ace. Yeah.
So we have a 4-1 lead for the Hurricane. And of course, every ball's worth a point. So whether it's offense or defense,
right,
either team is going to score on each service. And number 2, Emily Butcher comes with a nice spike. Ball set up, set again. Butcher returns it over. Oh, and number 18, Julia Finkel, just dinks it over, Rick, and it's 4-2 in favor of the Hurricane.
She's quite tall.
She is very tall.
Yeah.
Okay, number 21, Michelle Pan, serving for Georgetown. And that looks out. And that is a point for Pan. And so that makes it 4-3 in favor of the Hurricane. Pan with her second serve. As she gets ready. And there's the service. And she drives it deep into the backcourt. Number 6 sets it up for number 8, Catherine Harden. And Harden drills it into the net. So that's another point for Pan. And that evens the score at 4-4.
Pan's on a run here.
Yes, she is. So Michelle Pan can give the Lady G-Men the lead. Okay, ball set up. Number 12,
On.
Harley Bickett. Okay, and Michelle Pan.
Another point for Georgetown.
Yeah, and Michelle Pan has 3 points now as she gets ready to serve. 5-4 in favor of the G-Men over the Hurricane. Hurricane sets it up. Nice spike by number 8 for the Hurricane, Catherine Harden, as she goes high to bring it down, and the ball's turned back over to the Hurricane. And Rick, we've got a 5-5 game, so we've got a barn burner here in the early going.
Very close.
Okay, serving now, number 7, Shaylin Johns, a sophomore, 5'5", gets ready to serve for the Hurricane. And there's her service. And she drops it short in the short court. Ball's returned by the Hurricane. Pan. And the ball set up for number 24.
Is that
Emily Thomas.
outside out?
Yes, it's side out. Oh, no, it's a point, actually. It's a point for the Hurricane, so it's 6-5 in favor of Wilmington. There's the service. And again, in the front court, the ball is set up by number 7, Shaylin Jones. And we have a net violation.
Right. Can't be in the net.
So 7-5. And Shaylin Jones has been on a little tear here. She's got another one, but that one goes into the net.
Johns is the daughter of Howard and Heather Johns.
Okay.
They've got some very athletic daughters that have played here for the Hurricane
Over the years?
Yep.
Okay. So number 24, Emily Thomas, serves for the Lady G-Men and is a little bit deep, and that's going to go back over to Wilmington with the score 8-6 in the first set.
A little too much mustard on that,
A little bit too much. Emily Butcher serving for the Hurricane. She gets ready, and there's the serve, and she gets a little spin on that one, and that drops into the front court.
Nice serve.
A nice spinning serve by Emily Butcher, and that moves the Wilmington lead out to 9-6 as Butcher gets ready for her second serve. There's the service. Now she drives this one deep to 21 Pan. Number 1 drives it up the net, Isabella Holland. And number 20, Ty Harris, the senior from Wilmington, brings that one home with a lot of force, and that moves it out to 10-6. And Wilmington's starting to open up the lead here, Rick.
Yeah, the biggest lead so far of this match.
Okay, Butcher gets ready. And there's her service. She drives it, again, about middle court, up to the net. Georgetown keeps it in play. Number 7, John sets it up for 16. Aaliyah Huff, Johns, and number 13 for Georgetown. Bailey Nichols hits it over. Number 8 dinks it for Wilmington. Johns sets it up.
Oh, nice block.
And nearly blocked by Georgetown.
Yeah, she was up for it.
Nice spiking effort by Harden. And number 18, Julia Finkel gets up, but she wasn't able to block it completely. So that makes it 11-6 Wilmington. And Butcher again, has been on a tear here with a serve. And number 13,
who's got the ball?
Bailey Nichols set it up, and nobody reacted to it, and it dropped in for a Wilmington point. So that moves it out to 12-6 in favor of the Hurricane. Emily Butcher has been on fire here as she's served, I believe, 7 straight points here, Rick. And Butcher with another one. Nice spinning serve to the backcourt. Pan drives it up. John with a bump and gets it up. And
ooh, little long.
And number 20, Ty Harris, comes with some thunder on that ball, but it is a bit too deep, and that will be a turnover to Georgetown, as they call in volleyball. I call it a turnover, but it is actually a side out, and there's a substitution. Okay, so number 23 comes into the game for the Lady G-Men, and that is Riley Bridges, and she replaces Julia Finkel. Okay, serving for Georgetown. And Georgetown with a nice, powerful serve. Johns set to number 5, Emily Self. Self over to Johns. Johns over to number 8, Kaylin. Oh, and a little bit short on that. Nice, Rick, that was a nice job of working the ball around on a couple bumps and sets by the Hurricane, which resulted in a point. So we've got a service here with 13-7 in favor of the Hurricane. Number 8, Catherine Harden serving.
Oh.
And Michelle Pan was able to get a hand on it, but nobody was close enough, Rick, to return it. So that moves it out to 14-7. And the Hurricanes have doubled up the Lady G-Men at this point. Okay. Again, 8. Harden with a nice serve. 2 good serves by Harden.
Oh, into the net.
And Georgetown's not able to convert, so that takes it back to Harden for another serve, and it is 15-7.
We got a timeout.
And that's an 8-point lead, Rick, and Georgetown takes a timeout because they're trying to cool off the Hurricane right now.
Need to regroup here.
Yes, they are.
You're listening to CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school, college, and professional sports.
Yes, we do it. We do it all.
And speaking of professional sports, we have the Cincinnati Chiefs. Now, do we know who they're going to face in the championship game?
I do not know for sure. I heard that it was going to be the Canton Pit Bulls.
Canton Pit Bulls, all right. And we'll have that here
on September 8th.
That's right. So
and that'll be down. The venue is not set. We know it's either going to be Taft High School or Western Hills in Cincinnati because the Southern Division hosts the Super Bowl this year. And, of course, Campus Nation will be right there to bring every play of the game. Number 8, Catherine Harden, will return to service for Wilmington. Wilmington with a 15-7 lead, and Harden, nice service that drops quickly. Ball set up by Johns. Johns sets it up for number 5, Emily Self. Johns again. And number 20, Ty Harris. Ty Harris is just such a force in the middle of the field there. And then Self. Oh, good
nice
save by Pan. Number 12
What'd they call?
Sets it up.
Hit it twice?
I do not know.
Yes,
they did. They called a double hit. And so that moves it out to 16-7. And Catherine Harden continues the onslaught here by the Hurricane. Harden drives it deep. The ball is set up. Harris, they get the ball to the middle. Harris takes it back over after the ball is returned to her. And Harris again sets it up. Back to Harris, and she brings a thunderous spike. And that moves it out to 17-7 in favor of Wilmington. Ty Harris had a lot of meaning on that one, Rick, when she hit that ball.
Exclamation point.
Yes. Number 8, Catherine Harden, continues the service onslaught. She drives it to the backcourt. Ball set up for number 1, Isabella Holland. Johns sets it up. Holland to Pan, over to number 23,
Short.
Bridges, and they can't quite get it over. So Harden, again, will return to service, and it is 18-7, Rick, and the Lady G-Men have no answer for the Hurricane.
Hurricane are on a run, that's for sure.
Yes, they are. Harden drives it deep. Okay. Number 1, Isabella Holland gets it over. And again, Ty Harris.
Oh, she's been the force in the middle there.
Ty's been bringing some nails with that hammer, and she is finishing this off. So 19-7 in favor of the Hurricane. And again, Catherine Harden drives the ball to deep middle court. Holland gets it up to and they set it up for who else but Ty Harris. There's the back set.
What do we got? 2 hits.
And we got a double hit there again. And that moves it out to 20-7 in the first set here, Rick. And Wilmington is starting to take a commanding lead. So there's the service. And Ty Harris with a little dink. Ball's driven back to the Wilmington side. John sets it up for Harris. Harris a little bit too long on that one. And Georgetown hopes to get a little rally going here as the score is 20-8. Reporting in for the Lady G-Men is Liz Miranda. And coming out is Michelle Pan, who's had quite a good game. There's the first service. And then Wilmington knocks the ball over. Georgetown knocks the ball out, and just like that, it's back to the Hurricane, who already have a 20-8 lead.
Now 21-8.
And 21-8. And now we have a rotation, which brings in Emily Butcher again. And serving for the Lady Hurricane is Bree Thompson. So there's Bree's serve. A deep one long. And a little bit long. And that makes it 21-9 in favor of the Hurricane. Service is returned over to the Lady G-Men, and Bailey Nichols is serving. Okay. And number 2 comes in for the Lady G-Men, and that is Kaylee Miles.
Kaylee's going to serve.
Okay. And so Kaylee gets ready for the serve. Nice shallow serve. Just got over the net, Rick. It was a hard one to handle. And there's an offensive point for the Lady G-Men, something they've been lacking here in the last few minutes. Another low, hard serve just over the net. Oh, and again.
Kaylee has ignited this Lady G-Men team here.
Kaylee Miles has breathed a little life into the Lady G-Men, and she's on fire. And another nice low, just over the net serve, and a thunderous spike, and a return.
Oh!
Number 10, Sammy McCord, had a nice spike, and she was able to block it back over, but all for naught as Kaylee Miles has been on a little bit of a run here of 3 points, and we'll see if she can continue. Miles drives it deep this time, not quite as hot or low as she's been getting it, and Wilmington knocks it out of bounds. So Kaylee Miles continues on her tear, and it's 21-13 in favor of Wilmington. Okay, ball is set up, driven over by Wilmington, back over to number 12, Sammy McCord. Ball set up, Georgetown, and Miles with a double.
2 hits.
With a double hit.
That's the 3rd double hit that the Lady G-Men have
they're
had.
Just not. It seems that their hands are uneven when they're hitting it, and of course this is hurting the Lady G-Men. So Wilmington 3 points away from a victory in the first set, and number 12, Harley Bickett, is serving again, and Wilmington.
2 hits.
And we're going to get a double hit again, and that moves it out to 23-13, Rick, and it's
Coach got to be a little frustrated here.
Yeah, I think those are correctable errors. Bickett drives the ball deep. Nice deep serve that can't be returned by Georgetown. And Wilmington finds themselves on the brink of victory here in the first set, 24-13, as Harley Bickett gets ready to serve for the game. And there's the service deep again to
out of
number
bounds.
23. And that's Riley Bridges, and she is unable to handle it. So that is set 1. goes to Wilmington, 25-13. And Rick, boy, that was a game of streaks there because Wilmington had 2 long streaks that really distanced themselves from Georgetown, and Georgetown just couldn't get back into it at that point.
Yeah, they sort of shell-shocked there, but they did make a good attempt.
You know, there were some pockets there where Georgetown started to have little rallies, but they really stopped themselves with the double hits.
Yeah, and there were, let's see, 4? At least 4, maybe 5.
Yep.
And I don't exactly know why, you know, they were having such a problem with those double hits.
Yeah, those are the type of things that you just really, as a coach, you got to work through those things, and as they get better on those type of skills, those things will eliminate, and it'll keep their rallies alive.
Right.
So, and we got Dean the Dream here. What's up, Dean? You want to say hi to everybody? Now,
Dean is a shy person.
Dean
when we went to WLW, he just sat there.
He could have talked to 38 states and half of Canada,
and he decided not to.
He did. Yeah, Dean is a shy one there, so we didn't get him on there. But, yeah, we had a chance to go down there with riding the wave with Dave and into the wee hours of the morning, I might add.
It was the wee hours.
Yeah.
In fact, we didn't actually
well, we'll try to make it exciting for everybody.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, thank you.
Well, this is the Razor. Bill the Razor Raybeck.
I didn't pay you to say that.
You don't have enough.
You ain't got enough money, Dave, but I'm just saying that they was all saying they like your voice.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I don't know who you are.
Bill Raybeck is his name. Yeah.
Thank you.
He's a keeper. Okay. All right. Thanks. Bill, you don't get a raise.
As soon as I'm sure what I'm talking about here, we'll be
Well, they like the sound of your voice, well, even if you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it.
There you go. That's right. But we'll work through it.
It's been a while since we've. Here we go, and we're getting ready for the second game. As there's about 20 seconds before the second game starts. Wilmington winning the first game, 25-13.
Did you write that down?
I did.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah, I'm on top of that.
You're on top of
You know,
things.
I'm one of those guys that writes all that stuff down.
Well, that's true. You are a statistician at heart.
I am. I try.
But you don't teach math, do you?
I did at one point in my life.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That was maybe about 4 years.
Was that when you got fired?
No, no. That was a move decided on by myself.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so we have number 14 serving 0-0 beginning of the second game, and that is Layla Elliott serving for Georgetown. So Layla gets ready for the start. The officials are moving into position. Joe Davis looking over the court. And Joe will give her the signal when he's ready, or he feels everybody's ready.
Yeah, Joe, he's got to make sure all the eyes are on him first.
Hopefully Joe doesn't fall out.
Joe is a social butterfly.
I'm hoping Joe doesn't fall off the stand up there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
He's leaning over quite a bit there, Rick.
Well, he's probably a little short on sight there.
Of course, Joe will be at the Wilmington game this Friday for
That's
football.
Right. He'll be working with Charlie Hargrave right here for the Wilmington Valley View football.
Yes, indeed. So here we go. We're getting ready to start this.
I guess they're making sure everyone's in place.
Layla Elliott, as I said before, is going to be the opening. No, I think they have water on the floor.
Well, Troy is mopping it up here, but
yeah, it appears,
I don't think that was the reason they stopped play, was it?
Well, I don't know. We'll have to get Joe's interpretation on that later.
Yep.
Okay, Layla Elliott, nice serve. And
wow, nice
serve. Nice low serve. It just could not be handled by number 12 for Wilmington, Harley Bickett. And so 1-0 Georgetown. Okay, so Elliott gets ready for a second serve. Again, right over the top of the net. Wilmington's able to recover on that. Knocks it over. John sets it up. And Harris drives it from the middle row. A little dink.
Oh, nice.
And the ball's dinked over by Emily Thomas, and that gives Georgetown a quick 2-0 lead in the second game. Again, Layla Elliott with her third serve here. And Elliott has given them some trouble with the service, Rick.
Yeah, she's got a great serve, and she keeps it
Close
over the net, low, and right into the floor.
And she has one of those services that just dives as soon as it gets over the net, which makes it hard to return. Now that one is playable as Johns gets it up to number 2. Oh, and Emily Butcher had a good idea, but it just kind of caroms off the net and works its way out of bounds.
So Georgetown with a 4-0 lead as we have a timeout by Wilmington.
Yeah, so Layla Elliott has been the medicine
The force.
here.
The
Yeah,
force.
the force. The force is with her right here. And you know, this is Georgetown. And it seems that side of the court seems to be the
lucky side?
Yeah, that seems to be the lucky side over there, Rick.
Maybe it's the lighting or something.
Yes. For those listening on, now are we on WZAA today too? No.
Not on WZAA.
Okay, we're just
kind of hard to
do
for people that are doing volleyball.
Visualize volleyball, yeah.
Yeah, even soccer is a little difficult.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, it wasn't one of those sports made for radio. But volleyball, of course,
We'll be over the air on football, and I believe I'm going to pick the, it'll probably be the Wilmington Valley View matchup that we'll put on the radio.
Okay. Layla Elliott serving for her 5th point. Low, hard serve. Butcher brings the ball over from the middle. And again, right in the middle there, Butcher, I think they're calling that.
Yep.
And so.
Can't be in the net.
You cannot touch the net. Layla Elliott with her 5th point. And number 2, Emily Butcher, was she's been playing the net very well. Okay. And Ty Harris from,
long.
Just a little bit long. Ty Harris with a nice strike from about the middle of the floor. And
6-0, Georgetown.
And Georgetown. So Layla Elliott. Oh! And in my day, Rick, that would have been a net serve, and that would have been a side out. Of course, with the new rules, which are not that new, but
playing it off the net?
Playing it off the net is now an option. Okay. And, number 7, and I think they're going to call her for
Double.
a carry.
Yeah.
And so number 7, Shaylin Johns, just tried to get a little too tricky on that one. And so it is 8-0 in favor of Georgetown. And finally, Layla Elliott makes a mistake, which gives Wilmington their first point of the second game.
But she racked up 8 points in her serve.
She sure did. Serving is Shaylin Johns for Wilmington. And Johns with a high arcing serve. Number 13. 13 drives it over, and it is out. Number 13 for the Lady G-Men, Bailey Nichols, just a little bit too deep. And that's going to bring it to second serve here for Shayla Johns. And a jump serve. And that was not getting over the net as you had Ty Harris and number 18,
those two are a wall when they get up
Mara
there on the
Drake
court,
is 6'4", and Ty Harris is 6'2". And as Rick said, that was a wall that could not be penetrated there. And that one came.
So it hit the basket that was sort of slightly down. Would that be in play, I
imagine?
Yes.
If it's on your side and you hit it into the ceiling or an object, you may play it if you haven't played your 3 hits already.
Okay.
And that is a nice serve by Johns. And Wilmington finds themselves back into this game.
Shaylin's had 5 points to her credit here.
Exactly. So it is 8-5 in favor of Georgetown, but we have Wilmington thundering back in here. And Ty Harris. Ty Harris in the middle brings it down with thunder again. And we're to 8-6, Rick. And the lead that was once 8 has been cut drastically. Johns with a deep serve, number 14.
Got to get it over.
Layla Elliott set it up, but none of her teammates could react to it, Rick. And
Georgetown's lead is quickly evaporating, and I think they need to probably, or they might have to take a timeout here shortly if they continue along this.
Isabella Holland comes into the game. Okay, so Oh, and a net serve by Shaylin Johns, and what a shame. But it was a nice run by Johns, and that puts Georgetown up 9-7, but a good comeback by the Hurricane. Harris gets the ball up in the air. Number 24, Bridges, hits it over. And number 5, Bree Thompson. Bree Thompson drove it over, and number 8 for the Lady G-Men, that would be Jordan Watson, hits it into the net, and it will be Wilmington's ball again with number 2, Emily Butcher, who had quite a service display in the first game. And Ty Harris brings it back over. Harris up.
Good save.
Good save there. Oh! Well, a heck of an effort by number 7, Shaylin Johns. I mean, she did everything she could do to keep that alive, and the ball died right there. So it is now 10-8 with Georgetown serving, and this is number 2, Kaylee Miles, who had a nice first game for the Lady G-Men. But this time they stopped Miles very quickly with a nice play by the Hurricanes.
So 10-9.
10-9.
Got a substitution, number 8 coming in.
Number 8, Catherine Harden, is in.
She'll be serving.
And Catherine will be serving. Catherine was another key server in that first game. And we'll see if she can, whoa, nice low serve, but a little bit too low as it goes into the net. And that keeps Georgetown ahead 11-9.
And sometimes it's difficult to come in off the bench and then serve right away and be able to get anything on the ball.
Sure is. Emily Thompson serving for Georgetown and doesn't quite get it to the net, so the ball's going to go back over to Wilmington. And the score is now 11-10 in favor of the Lady G-Men. Ty Harris is coming out for a break, but what a game she's had so far.
Yes.
Okay. Serving for Wilmington is number 6, Bree Thompson. Thompson drives it over deep to the back line.
And it's
too hot to handle for Miles. And that's going to tie the game up at 11.
So the first time this game has been tied.
Thompson gets ready for a second serve. Driving it, a little too deep. And that's going to go back to Georgetown, and that's going to give the Lady G-Men a slim 1-point lead at 12-11.
Haven't used any instant replay tonight. I'm going to have to.
It moves pretty quick to get the instant replay.
It is difficult sometimes.
You don't have a lot.
I had to actually shorten the number of seconds down for instant replay, and when we did this the other night, in order to be able to get the instant replay.
Riley Bridges serving for Lady G-Men. Ball set up for number 10, Sammy McCord. McCord brings it down with meaning there. Number 5.
Let's be a save.
And Harley
nice.
Bickett. Nice.
And the score.
Nice save. Good teamwork on the Hurricane side.
Hurricane take the lead.
They do. And that gives the Hurricane, well, where's that tied up?
I didn't think it was tied up. Maybe it is.
Well, I think, I'm assuming this is it, 12-12.
Yep.
And service by Wilmington. Okay, Miles gets it up for Holland.
Out.
And Holland hits it out of bounds, and that will give the Hurricane the lead in this game, 13-12. So they're about halfway through, point-wise, as they play to 25. Oh, nice diving serve by Maddie Flint. And that ball just fell off the table, Rick, so to speak, as that was not
Was that an ace?
No, it was not an ace.
Someone touched it?
Yeah, someone touched it. It dove right at the last second.
Who touched it, Bill?
I would say number 24.
Okay, good guess. Good guess.
Yeah. A nice deep serve that goes out of bounds. And that's going to make it 13-13.
14-13.
14-13.
Hurricanes still have the lead.
I'm sorry. So 14-13 in favor of Wilmington. And there's the service by Georgetown. The ball is set up for Butcher. Butcher drives it out of bounds. Just a little bit too deep for Emily Butcher. and that's going to make it a 14-14 game as number 15, Rylan Dyer, and Dyer dials up a nice serve there.
Dean almost got taken out here.
Dean the Dream.
Yeah.
Was he dreaming down there?
He was asleep, probably.
15-14 in favor of the Lady G-Men. Dyer with her second serve sets it up for number 5. A spike by Emily Self.
That was nice.
And Emily is, 5'4", and she got up there on that one, Rick.
And she's going to serve.
And she comes and she gets the opportunity to break the tie here as it's 15-15. Self drives a deep serve. The ball set up.
Got a double?
And we've got a double hit, which was a problem. It looked like they had that corrected, Rick, in this game, but that's going to make it 16-15 in favor of Wilmington. Okay, Self drives it deep again. And Elliott gets it over. Butcher dinks it over. Okay. And Elliott's been keeping this alive. Number 10, Sammy McCord, has been busy in the middle there. She drives it back over. And number 1, Isabel Holland, gets it over. And Butcher.
In the net.
So Emily Butcher had the right idea, just a little bit too low, Rick. And that makes it 16-16.
This has been a great game.
Yeah, nice back and forth action here as both teams are very competitive. And we're back to the original server who started out this game, Layla Elliott, who had a nice 8-point run in the beginning of this game.
Yeah, she definitely did a good job.
And so Elliott drives the ball deep, but now they've got it set up. Number 12, Harley Bickett. Bickett keeps the play for Butcher, gets it up. It's going to be set back to Butcher, and Butcher brings it. But now Georgetown is up to the task as they return the spike effort, and that looks like it's
wide.
Out.
So, nope, must have hit the line.
And she's going to say it's a line, so that point goes over to Georgetown. That's when you need to replay, Rick, on that one.
Yeah, I should have done that, Bill. Why didn't you remind me?
You don't have quite that much time to do it. So 17-16 in favor of Georgetown. Now ball's driven into the net. And Georgetown is now up by 2, Rick.
18-16.
18-16. And Layla Elliott, who I thought she just served. But Elliott drives it deep. Number 5, Emily Self, drives it over. And that's going to move it out to a 19-16 lead. And Georgetown's getting a little breathing room, and it's getting close to the 20s, and you don't want to lose control of the game there.
No, you don't want to go into the 20s.
Elliott drives the ball over. Number 24, Emily Thomas.
Goes back over to Wilmington.
Goes back over to Wilmington, and Coach Persinger is bringing in reinforcements as she brings back in Shaylin Johns and, of course, Ty Harris. A little playing time for some of the other Hurricanes. And now it's time to buckle down, Rick, and put the hammer on them.
19-17.
Shaylin Johns serving, and she had a great run of serves there that brought him back early in this game. John sets it up for Harris. Harris,
can't
quite. It was one of those net nibblers, and it didn't quite make it, so it's 20-17 in favor of Georgetown. Holland gets the ball up. Johns dinks it over. And as Georgetown moves the ball, nice save. Oh, and Bickett with nearly a diving save, but it just gets into the net. And that makes it 21-17. Bickett sets it up there. Harris and Butcher bumps it over. The ball set up. Johns to Harris. Harris brings it. A little too high on that spike. And that ball goes out of bounds off of Georgetown. And that stops the rally by the Lady G-Men as the Hurricane are serving down by 3, 21-18. Emily Butcher serving.
We got a timeout.
And we've got a timeout, I believe. It looks like we have some moisture on the floor there.
So Troy Deals, our athletic director, doing his duty here. That's why he gets the big bucks.
He gets to carry the towel around.
Uh-huh.
Everybody's had to do that sometime, Troy.
That's right. That's right. So he's finally elevated to that point.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
Okay, Kaylee Miles serving for Georgetown. Johns sets it up for Maddie Flint. Okay. And so this one's coming back to Wilmington as the score is 22-18. 19. And Wilmington needs to stay on this, Rick, if they're going to pull this one out. Catherine Harden.
Long.
Serving. Oh. And so that moves it to 22-19. And Wilmington cuts the lead a little
22-20. You're always one behind.
You don't know why.
Well, I don't know.
And so we've got Harden.
Oh, good one.
And that was a diving effort by number 1, Isabella Holland, but not enough.
Yeah.
Not enough. So it is now 22-21. And Wilmington is within a point. Okay, there's the service by Wilmington. Ball set up by Johns. Number 5, Self.
Tied up.
Ties the game up at 22.
Self's a little fireball. I tell you what, I don't know how high, tallish Self.
Self is 5'4", so
she can get up and get it down. You know,
she gets up off the ground. And all these Wilmington girls, you know, they're not extremely tall except for the big girls, and they can get up off the ground.
That's right, jumpers.
Yeah. So we've got a new ball game here at 22-22, and for Georgetown, the pressure is really on them, Rick, because they cannot afford to drop.
No, they don't want to drop 2 in a row. That'll make it tough because then they'd have to win the last 3 in order to win this event here.
Yep. So number 8. Catherine Harden, the junior from Wilmington, gets ready to serve. Nice low serve, and that's an ace.
What do we got? Nope. No serve. He didn't blow the whistle.
Wow. And Harden with just a beautiful. Hopefully she's got another one like that in her there, Rick, because that was a beauty.
Waiting for the whistle.
Jolton Joe up there is getting ready to put the ball in play. And okay, it's a Harden. It's up there. Oh!
Into the net.
And number 24, Emily Thomas for Georgetown just drills it into the net. And Harden has now given the Hurricane a 1-point lead, 23-22, and it's getting close to the end of this one, Rick. Harden with another serve. Nice floater serve. And it drops in the middle.
That was a bad error.
And so Harden has brought them to the brink of victory, 24-22. One more point, and the Hurricane will go up 2-0 in this match against Georgetown. Catherine Harden getting ready to serve. There's the whistle. Nice spinning serve. Set up for number 24, Thomas.
Oh, it's unbounds. That was on the line.
And that is in, so that's going to move it to 24-23 Wilmington, and Emily Thomas will be serving to tie the game for Georgetown. So Thomas gets ready. There's the serve in the middle of the court. Ball set up by Johns to Bickett. Bickett drives the ball over. Ball set up for 14. Elliott drills it into the net, and that brings the second game victory, 25-23. To Wilmington. And it's going to, you know, Rick, now it's a tough situation. As we talked about there a few seconds ago, up 2-0, they've got to come back and win the next 3. And that makes it extremely tough against
uphill battle.
An uphill battle against a very game Wilmington team here who's in search of their first victory of the year. They are 0-1, but
that's right. They might just be on track to bring it to 1-1.
1-1, and that would be a great thing for the program. As Jenna Persinger in her first year is starting to put this program together, and
we certainly hope so.
Putting her fingerprints on the program, and it takes a while. Being in coaching for many years, you don't always do it in a year or two. Sometimes it takes a while, but it's all about believing in what she's doing, and it looks like the girls are definitely behind her and what she's trying to accomplish here. So we get ready for the third game. And so, Rick, what's on the docket here? Of course, we talked a little bit about football.
Yeah, and then the following week, we'll just make mention of this. Next Thursday, that's a week. That's a week from tomorrow.
Yep.
We will be in Urbana for the Blue Knights.
The kickoff of the game of the week.
That's right, our game of the week, first game of the week at Urbana College.
Yep.
And or Urbana University of Urbana.
Yeah, Urbana University.
Okay.
It's UU, no matter how you look at it. So,
anyway, so we look forward to a Thursday night opening salvo of football games as far as our college football.
And that'll be one of 3 Thursday night games that we're doing with Urbana this year.
We've even got a Sunday night at Hocking.
And we have a Sunday game at Hocking. Of course, we're going to be up on the 8th of September. We'll be up in Canton at the Hall of Fame Stadium.
That's right, for Malone.
So we'll be all over the place. And, of course, we've got some good football.
We stay till they kick us out, right?
Yeah, what a treat to be in Tom Benson Stadium. If you've never been there, of course, we've talked about it several times. Just one of the premier facilities in the NFL for a small stadium.
And when you talk about press box, this thing is an NFL press box.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and you get treated to the very best when you're up there doing any kind of broadcast.
Yeah, so that's going to be some exciting times. Of course, we recently have entered a contract with the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference.
Right, we're going to do 5 games for them. Actually, we're subcontracting for Flow Sports.
Yes.
They're out of Austin, Texas. And so it won't really be a Campus Nation broadcast because obviously we'll be doing it for Flow Sports. But we will have it on Campus Nation 7 days after the broadcast.
Right.
It'll be live through our facilities, but actually through the Flow Sports Network. So we look forward to that, too.
Right. And, of course, we'll be doing some games there. And we'll get back to that here as we start Game 3 as Wilmington starts out. And Harley Bickett actually has had in the first game started as the server, and she'll serve the third game and drives the ball to the middle. And the ball is up. Elliott.
What?
And Elliott with a little windmill bump and is able to drop it in there, and Georgetown takes a 1-0 lead. And it looks like, yes, it will be Elliott starting out the serving.
She's a good server.
And she started out last game with 8 straight points. Ball is up in the middle, and that's turned over by Thompson. Number 18 for Georgetown is Finkel.
Oh.
And it's off Finkel's hands as Wilmington got it over, but they couldn't get it past. Could not get it past her, and it's 1-1. Number 5, Emily Self with a nice serve, drives at the pin. Thomas over to Finkel, and Finkel, and then Bickett. Oh, and Pan just hits it low. So Self will get another serve, and it is now 2-1 in favor of Wilmington. Good server. Self has a really low, hard serve, and it's been difficult for Georgetown to handle. Thomas returns it for Georgetown. Ball back in the middle. That was taken over by McCord for Wilmington.
In the net?
And the ball's hit into the net. And number 18, Julia Finkel, just kind of looks in disbelief as it makes it 3-1 in favor of Wilmington. Self again gets ready. Drives the ball. Nice, solid
serve.
She sure does. Pan saves it, though, for Georgetown. Wilmington sets it up. Number 8, Harden drives it over. Pan keeps it alive. Ball is set up for Butcher. Butcher brings it. And Emily Butcher with a nice stinging spike. And so that makes it 4-1 in favor of the Hurricane. Self still serving. And again, a low, hard
over the net.
serve.
Well, that hit the net and went over.
We used to call those seeing eye shots because you just don't know how it got over, but it found its way over, and that makes it 5-1. And Self has hit some really nice shots. Another hard serve.
Oh, off the basket, but...
and she is on fire right now, Rick. I mean, whatever she's...
You think she practiced that shot?
With the one off the ceiling, it's hard to do. So, okay, so Emily Self.
6-1, Hurricane in the lead.
Yep. And let's hope this didn't cool Self off because she had about 3 straight serves that were coming 70 miles an hour.
Into the net.
And so, as so often, when there's a break in action, it kind of breaks the momentum.
Distraction.
And that makes it 6-2. That's why they take timeouts when they take timeouts a lot of times. Okay, so we've got Holland. Oh, nice diving serve by Isabella Holland. And that will make it 6-3. And Holland will get another attempt here. So Holland gets ready for the service. She drives it deep to Bickett. Bickett just can't handle that for Wilmington. And that makes it 6-4 in favor of Wilmington. But a little life here has been brought to the Lady G-men by Holland. Set up. Harden drives it over, back, and it's out of bounds. And that's going to go back over to Wilmington and increases their lead to 7-4. Number 7 reporting in, Shaylin Johns. And, of course, number 20 reporting in, Ty Harris. And, of course, Ty has been a force all game.
Yeah, you don't want to see Ty coming back in.
No. So Shaylin Johns, who's been a force serving. Nice jump serve there. Drives the ball to the middle. Pan sets it up for Thomas. Okay. Harris sets it up for Harden. And Harden dinks it over.
She hits it where they are not.
And that brings a lot of success to volleyball players when they do that. Okay. So again, Shaylin Johns, nice looping serve there. Pan gets it up for the Lady G-men. Thomas backhands it over.
Oh, can't handle it.
And nice backhand by Thomas.
And that was sort of flailing away.
Yeah, it kind of rolled off her arm towards the boundary, which makes it difficult to judge. And that makes it 8-5 in favor of Wilmington. Okay, reporting in to serve here is number 2, Kaylee Miles, who's had some good success for the G-men. Lady G-men, I'm sorry. There's the service. Drives the ball up. Okay. Bickett. Ball set up for Harris. Harris brings it. Okay. Okay, Johns. And again, Butcher. Butcher with a nice little spike, but just not enough. And set up again for Harden, and Harden gets it.
Catches the corner.
On a back set, she catches the corner, and Catherine Harden brings a nice shot, and that makes it 9-5 in favor of Wilmington.
Got some new subs here, number 16, number 9.
So coming in is Lexi Evans, number 9, and number 16, Alayla Huff. And just like that, Lexi Evans gives Wilmington a 10-5 lead. Okay, Evans with her second serve. The ball is up, and Georgetown can't find the answer on that one. They bumped the ball around a couple times, Rick, but just weren't able to get it over. So Lexi Evans, the
11-5,
5'9" junior.
Oh, into the net.
Just not quite enough for Evans to get that one over. And that's going to make it 10-6 or 11-6 in favor of Wilmington. So coming in for Georgetown is number 8, Jordan Watson, and leaving the game is number 15, Rylan Dyer. Okay, Thomas with the serve. Johns gets it up.
Into the net.
And Self just couldn't get enough on it to get it over there. So that makes it 11-7 in favor of Wilmington. Another serve here by Emily Thomas. Thomas drives it to the middle. Evans is able to get up to Johns. Johns to Harris. And Harris just not high enough on that one, Rick, and she drives it into the net. So that makes it 11-8 in favor of Wilmington. Thomas with her third serve here. Nice, strong serve, but too deep, and that's going to move it out to 12-8 for Wilmington as Catherine Harden comes up to serve. And Harden has been a force too, Rick, with some really timely serving. A nice serve there.
There's one.
13-8 in favor of the Hurricane. Catherine Harden has a nice serve there, and she's getting ready to bring it again. Harden with the service, drives it over to the middle. Holland with the return. Number 2, Miles. And then 5, Self for Wilmington. Knocks it over. She knocks it, dinks it. So the ball was hit by Self. She hit it over. It was returned to her, and then she dinked it, and she got the point. So that makes it 14-8 in favor of the Wilmington Hurricane. Catherine Harden on a streak here, trying to increase the lead for the Hurricane. She drives it over to Elliott. Elliott over to Miles. And Elliott a little too deep, and that's going to push it out to 15-8. And a good run here would be a bad thing for Georgetown here, because Wilmington would be close to, wow, nice serve. An ace by Harden. And that was low, hard, and spinning, Rick. All the things that you don't want to have happen.
The Lady G-men did not expect it to have that kind of a spin on it.
Pan reporting in, number 13, Bailey Nichols reporting in, and number 15, Rylan Dyer, all coming in for Georgetown.
Our score here is 16-8, Hurricane in the lead.
Yep. And we still have Catherine Harden serving. Ball is hit over, and that is out. And that makes it 17-8, Rick. Nearly a 10-point lead for the Hurricane. And Georgetown just doesn't have an answer for Harden's services right now. So Harden with the service, drives the ball to the middle. Pan gets it over for Georgetown. John saves it. Oh! Okay, and
it's going back over to the Lady G-men.
So it's back over to Lady G-men. Number 4 comes in, Alex South.
Looks like Pan will be serving.
And number 10 comes in, Sammy McCord. And number 6 coming in for Wilmington, Bree Thompson.
Our score here is 17-9. Lady Kane in the lead.
Okay. And Michelle Pan is getting ready to serve for Georgetown. Nice serve there. Ball's dug. Number 6, Thompson drives it over for the Hurricane.
Oh.
And Pan bumped it to the middle, but Georgetown didn't react to it. And that moves it out to 18-9.
What do we got here? Well, they're just getting names and numbers.
They're trying to get them coordinated here. And it looks like Bree Thompson will be serving here for Wilmington, with the Hurricane leading 18-9.
Making sure they're in the same positions they should be in.
And they are seeing what's going on. I'm not sure what would happen if they're out of order. I don't know if they lose their service. Or
they get a point. The other team would get a point. We had that the other night.
Okay. Thompson with the serve. Georgetown's able to bump it up into the air. Elliott drives it over for Georgetown. Ball is set up. Number 16 drives it over Alayla Huff for Wilmington. And Elliott, wow, and that appeared, I mean, yeah, And they're going to call that out, but
It looked wide to me.
Yeah, that looked.
Did you see a line?
Yeah, I thought that might have been in, but nevertheless, 19-9 now in favor of 19-9 in favor of Wilmington. And reporting in is Tammy Rooney Run Don Call, and so she is getting some action here in this game. And we've got number 16, Alayla Huff, taken over by Georgetown. A set by Wilmington. Number 10, Sammy McCord.
Sammy McCord put it where no one was.
Kind of a spinning dink, and she's able to knock it over and puts Wilmington up 20-9. Okay, Thompson with the serve. Pan sets it up in the middle. It's going to have to make it over. Pan.
And it does.
Oh, and Pan is able to, she sets it, a teammate hits it, and then Pan's able to drive it over.
And that was a nice drive.
Yeah, it was. It was low and hard. And so it's 20-10 in favor of Wilmington. There's the service. Wilmington sets it up. Thompson gets it set up for Self, and it's a little bit too deep, and that's going to make it 20-11. Number 15 serving for Georgetown right now is Rylan Dyer, and Dyer drives the ball over. Thompson sets it up. Number 16, Alayla Huff, gets it over. Huff again. Thompson sets the ball over. Number 1, Holland hits it over for Georgetown. Thompson dinks it. Thomas hits it up, and not quite enough there. A good effort by number 13 for Georgetown as she tried to wheelhouse it over, but just wasn't able. Bailey Nichols. Coming in for Georgetown is Libby Scott, number 25. And back to service is the lady who started this out in the first game is Harley Bickett. And Bickett is getting ready to serve with Wilmington up 21-11.
All right.
Okay, there's the service. Bickett, deep serve, a little bit too deep, and that's going to go back over to Georgetown, keeping Georgetown alive.
Once again, one of those situations where coming in off the bench.
And yeah, a little bit too much adrenaline and drives it out of bounds. So we've got Tammy Rooney Ron Donkel. And good try by the young lady as it hit the net. And service is back over to now, of course, Emily Self. And Emily has been a machine serving back there. She has low,
great
low
serve.
hard serves. 22-12 Wilmington. The ball is up. And just Michelle Pan just couldn't get there to get that. And that moves it out to 23-12 and is getting close to a Hurricane victory here as Emily Self gets ready to serve one more time. Rotating serve.
It's good.
And Rooney Run Donkel off her arm as she's getting some action here at the end of this game. And this could be the game point, Rick. It is 24-12. This is the game and match point if they're successful with this. And Self, low, hard, deep
long.
serve, and it is out of bounds. So that keeps the Lady G-Men alive.
A little bit too much adrenaline in that one.
Yeah, I think she really wanted to put a little emphasis.
She realized what that was all about, didn't she?
So it's still match point here as Holland serves it up. And there is number 8.
That's it.
Catherine Harden with the spike and the victory in the match as Wilmington sweeps Georgetown 3-0. The scores were 25-13 Wilmington, 25-23 Wilmington, and this last one, a repeat of the first game, 25-13. So congratulations to the Wilmington Hurricane getting their first victory of the year, Rick, and they even their record at 1-1. Georgetown falls to 1-3. These teams are both, of course, in the SBAAC, so most likely we will see these teams again somewhere down the road.
Well,
right?
let's hope so.
So nice game. Rick, any any thoughts here?
Well, and for Jenna, I'm sure her and her staff are elated. This is obviously a great win here on the home court. Nice to do it in front of the home crowd here.
And I saw a big smile on Jenna's face.
That's right.
At the end of the game.
And
so
we've got the same thing tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we've got Blanchester. The Wildcats.
So there'll be a county battle here in Clinton County.
That's right. So we got some cousins coming in.
Some cousins.
And that'll be tomorrow. And we'll be on the air at 5:30 as well with all the action here on Campus Nation. We thank everybody for tuning in, for watching our broadcast tonight. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 5:30. And Bill, you take us out.
Okay. And so for Rick Phillips, I'm Bill the Razor Rayback. Dean Thompson on the camera. Dean's waving at us. And, of course, Heather Morgan on the other camera. And from Wilmington High School, good night, everyone.